That better not have broke. If you want to look like a completely different person after you finish doing your makeup, you are in the right place. Well, my headband is a little bit messed up, but that is okay. I'm starting out with moisturizer because basically you are not trying to look crusty. And then I also recommend using sunscreen just because it's like good skincare, but I'm not going to do that because I'm washing this off right after I finish the video. You want to use a foundation that is like at least medium coverage, and then also glowy foundations aren't going to work great for this if I'm being so honest. So I recommend you pick something. It doesn't need to be matte, but that isn't a dewy finish or a glowy finish. This is not my everyday makeup and I don't normally wear this much makeup, but on those days where like you want to be wearing a lot of makeup, like if I'm going to a dance or I know I'm going to be taking pictures, I like to make myself look like, you know. I feel like the last few years the clean girl thing has been so popular, and it's cute if you like that style of makeup, but if you like wearing a full face of makeup, then you do that because it is your face. For concealer, you're gonna want a shade that is lighter than your skin tone, especially for your under eyes, because a bright under eye is gonna just make your eyes look bigger and it's gonna make you look more different, which this is going for like unrecognizable. You don't need to be doing like triangles of concealer like 2016 makeup, but if you're trying to do a full face, you need to not be scared to put like a lot of makeup compared to what maybe a no makeup look would have. Anywhere where you have redness is a good spot to put concealer, but like if you put concealer everywhere because your foundation is not full enough coverage, it's gonna make you look cakey, but you're not going for cakey just because you have a lot of makeup on. I feel like it's a common misconception that wearing a lot of makeup makes your makeup look cakey, but that's not true. Wearing a lot of makeup is what makes your makeup like makeup. Because you know when girls will be like, my makeup is not makeuping, what am I doing wrong? And it's just like, you're not putting enough. Put more makeup if you want your makeup to make up. Now is honestly a good time for me to be filming this video because I actually have a giant skin picking problem, and I just picked up my skin really bad, which I have been doing good for a while, but like it's still not as bad as I used to do it when I was like in 7th grade, but it was still pretty bad. And so since my skin's bad, you can tell this makeup is actually, you know, covering stuff. I feel like when you're younger, especially on social media, there's this like thing where it's like you should wear this much makeup if you're in 6th grade, you should wear this much makeup if you're in 7th grade. And in middle school in general, any like advice you see on like Pinterest or TikTok or anything, Instagram reels, like is gonna be like you should be wearing blush, mascara, and lip gloss when you're 11. But like personally, me when I was 11, I was wearing foundation and blush and eyeshadow, and like you should wear how much makeup you want to wear. And also, if you're wearing makeup because you're insecure about the way you look, that's like a valid thing to do. Obviously, it's not good, and ideally, people would not be insecure to the point where they felt like they needed a full face of makeup all the time. But like the beauty standards are actually insane, and it's okay if you feel like that. I really don't like when there are girls on the internet who have plastic surgery acting like natural makeup is what looks best on everyone, and you need to embrace your natural beauty, wear makeup that enhances your natural features, but they have plastic surgery, or just like they spend a ton of money on skincare that most people don't have, and like facial treatments. But if you want to wear no makeup, I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm saying if you feel like you have to wear a lot of makeup to fit into the beauty standard, that's like okay that you feel that way. I'm not saying that that's okay that so many people have to feel that way, but like it's okay. It's just like being told like, oh well, you just have to be confident, it's very like dismissive. So for my under eyes, I'm gonna use this Huda Beauty like bright pink setting powder, but any setting powder will work. If you have one that's extra like light though, to get the bright under eye effect. I hate the net on this. I just interrupted myself, but I hate the net on this. It's so hard to get the product out of, so I'm actually gonna have to shake this. I'd only recommend doing this under your under eyes though if you are gonna use 2 different color setting powders, but for like the rest of your face, I would just use a normal color that like matches your skin tone. I kind of do a little bit of extra powder, but it's not to the point where I would like consider it baking. It's just like not all the way blended yet, and then I'm gonna finish like patting it in with a powder puff. after I do the rest of my powder. That Mountain Dew, baby, New York City. Never was ever a girl so pretty. I just tried to check what time it is, but there's literally no way for me to check that right now. And then I'm just gonna put powder basically everywhere else. Finally, matte is coming back like a little bit, maybe not as much, but I love matte makeup, and I actually do think glowy makeup looks good, and I do like the way it looks on other people. I feel like I was kind of almost, when I was talking about foundations, I'm like, don't use a glowy foundation for this, like, because it's not gonna work for this kind of look. But I think glowy makeup is so pretty. I don't really like it on myself because I think I look sweaty, but I'm using this powder that's a normal color to like blend my under eye powder. And when I say I put powder everywhere, I literally put powder everywhere. If you don't want to, you could just do it like in your T-zone, and then sometimes people like to carve out like right here. I don't even do that. I also like to get powder on like my eyelid because I actually find it helps blend in like eyeshadow and stuff like that a lot better. And also I kind of have like veins because I'm so pale and I don't like the way they look, but like I don't want to cover them with concealer because it gets like creasing, so then I just put powder and it kind of helps. You guys, my eyes look scary. On my eyes, I'm putting shimmer eyeshadow because I think it looks so pretty and I just love it. I literally stabbed myself in the eye with this. Okay, next, I'm gonna go in with black eyeliner. But what I would recommend is that if your hair is like a lighter color, like blonde or whatever, you should use a brown eyeliner. And then if your hair is darker like mine, a black eyeliner. Obviously, you could like do what you want, but that's just a general rule if like you don't know which one's gonna look better. I just put that on my waterline, and honestly, an eyeliner wing works for this really well. But I was thinking, I don't think a lot of people like know how to do that or know how to do that quickly. And honestly, I'm not that great at it, so I was just like, this is easier, and this is what I do every single day because it changes the way your eyes look. So this already changed the way my eye look, and then I also do it under like my, I don't know what that thing's called, your top waterline. I made up a name for it. Next, I'm curling my eyelashes, which I would honestly say this is a pretty crucial step if you're not wearing lashes. If you are wearing lashes look great, but I honestly cannot put lashes on correctly, so I don't know about that. And then right after I curl my eyelashes, I go in with eyeshadow instead of doing mascara right after, because if your eyelashes drop while you're doing your eyeshadow, that means that you probably did not curl them enough and you need to curl them for longer, or curl them better. I put eyeshadow in like the outer corner of my eye, just like the whole outer corner, but I don't know, make sure you stay away from the inside of your eye, because what this is doing, making your eyes like bigger, but if you just do it around, it's just gonna look like you like tightlined your eye. My eyelashes did not drop, and now, oh, the camera's about to fall. I go in with the Sky High mascara, and I swear by this mascara. I've been using this mascara since 7th grade. It's the best mascara in my opinion. Honestly, I've not tried that many mascaras, so I don't know if I can say that, but I've never felt the need to try another mascara because this one's actually amazing. I recommend that you also put mascara on your bottom eyelashes because I don't really know if you guys can see this, but this eye doesn't have it and this eye does, and you can tell that this one kind of looks bigger. I'm gonna hate that part of the video because I know I'm gonna look cross-eyed because I actually do not have my contacts in right now. And even when I do wear my contacts, I low-key look cross-eyed, so. Okay, next you need probably bronzer. Contour works too. Honestly, I like makeup, but I do use bronzer and contour kind of interchangeably because I just go for like a cool toned bronzer. So I put it over my, make sure you're not putting it like right on the middle because then it's not doing either thing. So if you're doing contour, it's technically supposed to be under your cheekbone, and if you're doing bronzer, it's supposed to be above your cheekbone. I like doing it above my cheekbone, but that honestly can depend on your face shape. And then I also put it under, this is kind of what I use as contour, is I put it under my jawline, or on my jawline, I don't know. That better not have broke. We're good. It did not break. A bunch of my brushes are dirty because I still haven't cleaned them, but you're gonna want a brush that you can use for nose contour. This is like not the most ideal brush, but it will work. I use this shade. I like using eyeshadow because I feel like it's just more pigmented than like my bronzer. The way I do it is I do a line kind of up from this nostril, up from this nostril, and then like over this part, and then on the bridge, but that part's more blended. And then you can kind of just like blend it messy with your finger. I blend stuff with my finger all the time when I'm doing my makeup if I don't have the right kind of brush to blend it or don't want to use an extra brush. Make sure you blend the nose contour like kind of into where your eyebrow starts to whatever. That's basically what it looks like. Pick one that you like. I like this color. And then the way I do it is I like blend like in a circle, and then I kind of like go down into this part just because my face is like rounder and so it doesn't really work if I put my blush up here. I low-key don't like how this is blended, so I'm putting a little bit of concealer. Obviously if I'm doing a makeup tutorial I should just be doing my makeup right the first time, but low-key I did a terrible job right here. So we're putting concealer over it and fixing it because I can do what I want. Okay, next I'm gonna carve out my eyebrows, which I feel like a lot of people actually do this at the beginning of their makeup routine, but I just don't like doing that because whenever I'm putting all the other steps, my eyebrows get messed up. I just put the wrong concealer shade. You guys, I just put the wrong concealer shade. I just wiped that off with the tissue because we are not doing that. I find that it works best if you only put it like on the under part of your eyebrow. Don't put it on the top part. And I kind of have to let this dry for a second before I blend it. Who else is sick of school already? I feel like I literally talk about that in every single video I film, but it's like I am so sick of going to school. Actually, no. Like I don't want to learn. And it's not even that I like don't like going to school because like I'm introverted. I don't like talking to people. I like talking to my friends. I don't want to learn these things. I don't care about a single subject I am learning. I care about my grades to some extent, but like the actual stuff we're learning, I could not be more uninterested in. Especially chemistry. Why is that necessary for me to know? Talking about stuff that makes up an atom right now, I don't care. Like, there is no reason for me to have this knowledge. What am I going to do with this? Scientists need this information. I do not. It's not basics. I understand when you learn fundamentals of subjects. Like I understand that we need to understand how like climate change works, but I do not need to know what an atom is made up of and memorize like what elements on the periodic table, like how they're organized, what reacts with what. Like it does not matter. Basically, try to blend this out now. And then after I'm done with my eyebrows, I set them, but don't use a lot of powder because it will get in your eyebrow and make your eyebrow white. The next step is highlighter. And for highlighter, you're gonna want a bright highlighter. A ton of that just got on my hand. Can you guys see that? No! For some reason, my highlighter palette has water on it. Not really sure how that happens. So I'm gonna finish the makeup tutorial and worry about this later. Basically I'm just using like a pink shade. And then you wanna put it on your nose so your nose glows like Rudolph. We're getting in the Christmas spirit. And then on the bridge of your nose, you wanna do it under your eyebrow, kind of your inner corner, but like a little more like wider than that. Because you're kind of trying to make like a circle almost with your highlighter, but you don't want it all to be connected because this is like half of the circle, and then we're gonna put some right here, so that'll be like a full circle, because then kind of no matter how you're turning your head, the like light will hit it somewhere. And when it comes to my highlighter brushes, I kind of just pick up whatever brush is like near me, and my eyeshadow and my highlighter all go on the same brushes, so they kind of just combine. But it doesn't really matter that much. For your lip liner, I recommend you use one that has good longevity and also that is a lot darker than your natural lip color. And I'm gonna try my best to give a tutorial on how I overlay my lips because it's low-key hard to explain, but it's kind of important. So I can't talk while I'm doing my lips, which is what makes this difficult. But the middle of your lips, you're going to overline. So you're gonna overline right here. You're gonna overline right here. Okay. So this is the part where people go wrong. I don't know why the camera keeps sliding down. It's literally about to fall. If you overline these parts of your lips, you will look like a literal clown. Don't do that. So you want to like go onto your actual lip, like fade it inwards from where you overlined. Okay. And that is how you overline your lips the correct way. I like to set my lips. Make sure when you're setting your lips, you do this. So you don't get it in the center of your lips because that'll lead to like product buildup that you do not want. And then a lip plumper is gonna be your best bet on making your lips look like, you know, and like more unrecognizable. But I like the Kylie Jenner lip kits, and if you don't like wearing lip plumper because it burns your lips, I like liquid lipstick, but I feel like that's really controversial. So honestly, do whatever you want after this step for your lips. Vaseline's good, and then I don't really like wearing lip gloss, but I feel like that's a lot more common than wearing liquid lipstick. I'm using the Kylie Jenner lip kit, and it's like the shade that's like Kylie or something, or Kylie Jenner, I don't know. It doesn't say on here, but it came in the one that's like Kylie Jenner's lips. Okay guys, I think that we're done with the makeup, and this isn't my exact makeup routine I do for school, but it's pretty similar, just with some extra steps. Do I look unrecognizable? You know? That is a tutorial, and I really hope that if you watched this whole video, you found that helpful somewhat. And if you did find it helpful, you should like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to show close up in better light so that it is not cakey. See guys? It's not cakey. That's just a proof.